I wanted to talk a little bit more today about the Confidence Code and what this book has to do with how I recalibrate. And by recalibrate, I mean when things go off track, when your when your plans go off track. So last time I had talked about this book, I had shared a little bit about how I took this break between my undergrad and my graduate work, and how I was doing a lot of work that I didn't want to stay in, that was like a lot of caretaking role kind of stuff, and how I was introduced to the concepts in the book The Confidence Code around that time. And I started thinking that helped me understand why I saw people who had the same or even sometimes less qualifications than me doing really cool things that I wasn't doing. And I realized it was because they had the confidence to ask for and seek those opportunities in ways that I didn't. And that is how I ended up charting this new path for myself. I decided that I was really inspired by my mentors in cellular neuroscience, and that I wanted to be a professor and teacher and teach people about cellular neuroscience like they did. And so I made a plan for myself that I was going to get a master's in education, and I was going to get another master's that was very technical, and that would set me up to be able to like lead these kinds of conversations. And then I got into my PhD program and I moved across the world for that. And I had a medical slash and or personal emergency, and I had to drop out of that program almost immediately. I'm probably one of the only people I know who's dropped out of a PhD program within the first week, but there's a lot of stuff going on that was bigger than me. There were things going on in the world and in my life that were out of my control. And so I also have health things now that would make it really hard for me to do the lab work that I was doing before, which is okay because there's a lot of other cool things that I can do. So my point is that when you get off track like that and you're recalibrating, it helps to go back and think about why you got started on the path you did in the first place. So I had said in a past video that I wasn't able to accomplish the new goals that I had set for myself since I charted this new path to get these advanced degrees and go into this direction of doing more neuroscience research, and also learning how to really communicate with the public about that research and understand how people were learning and understanding about science. So I accomplished those goals, even though, I obviously had some major setbacks. So when I go back and I think, what was I really trying to accomplish? And how can I continue on that path? And so for me, a big part of that is, of course, this video course that I'm just sharing with everyone online about my teaching about these topics. I'm doing Science of Literature 101 right now, and this video is part of that course. And when back to the confidence code, when I think about what would someone with more confidence than me, for one reason or another, how would they act? So I have people that I look up to when I think about this, and one of the people that I think about is Santiago Ramon y Cajal, and he may not be who everyone thinks of, but that's who I think of, and that has to do with cellular neuroscience. So one thing I also first loved about Cajal is that he was a painter and a neuroscientist, and that not only did he make these tremendous contributions to our understanding of how the neurons communicate with each other through synapse and neuron doctrine, and we're definitely going to get into his work on these courses. But another thing that I was interested in his work was that he self-published, and that had to do with a lot of things. One of them was that Spain as a cultural center for science knowledge wasn't as renowned as some other areas. So, in order to get his work out to other researchers, he had to learn French and German, and he also self-published. And so I say all of that to say self-publishing is a lot easier now than it was back then. And that is where I kind of first got the idea to self-publish too. So now I have my science literacy books that I'm starting to get out that are all about supporting people's comfort and ease with comprehension and reading the scientific literature and biomedical language. And as I get that going and get this course underway, I'm definitely going to do more in-depth writing, and I'm excited to see what I self-publish next.